Fear, the silent enemy. Fear. It coils in your gut like a serpent, strengthening its grasp every time you wait to act. I see it in every student who walks into my dojo, that silent opponent whispering, "You cannot," although your spirit shouts, "You must." Listen carefully, my buddy, for what I'm about to say isn't just philosophy. It is warrior wisdom, honed by fight and tested throughout time. Today, I'll show you how to convert this fearsome serpent into a powerful dragon that propels you ahead. To start this journey, the majority of people misunderstand fear. They attempt to remove, destroy, and push it away. However, attempting to smash a rock with your fist can only result in self-injury. Instead, study how water interacts with rocks. Water doesn't fight, it flows and adjusts. Nonetheless, after time, it carves through the hardest stone. During my years of martial training, I learned that fear is like an opponent in the ring. The more you resist, the more energy you lose. The more you tense yourself, the harder it hits. But when you learn to move with your fear and understand its rhythm and essence, everything changes. Consider the last time terror overtook you, perhaps before a pivotal occasion in your life. Did you feel your heart racing? Is your breath shortening? Good. These are not weaknesses, my buddy. They are your body's way of preparing you for greatness. Similarly, a fighter's heightened senses prior to confrontation represent his strength rather than his weakness. I encourage my students that they should not be victims of their fears. Be its master. Allow your fear to lead you along avenues you never knew existed, much like water flows over boulders in a stream. This is the first step toward the art of living fearlessly. Now look at the bamboo in the midst of a fierce storm. While enormous oaks resist and break, bamboo bends with the wind, touching the ground but not breaking, and then shoots back stronger than before. This is not a weakness. This is actual power, the strength of adaptation. Your thinking must become like bamboo. I discovered this fact not in times of ease, but in the crucible of severe training. When your muscles burn, when your lungs plead for oxygen, when every fiber in your body says, "Stop." Here is where you discover your true strength. This is where you learn how to overcome fear. Allow me to demonstrate a strategy I employ when dread arises. Don't fight it. Instead, be like bamboo. Accept the pressure. Bend with it. Take 3 slow breaths. On each breath, see your fear as energy, moving through you rather than against you. This is not just a meditation, my friend. This is how the warrior transforms fear into concentrated force. Remember, the stiff tree breaks, but the bamboo dances with the wind and endures. Your anxieties are the storm. Learn to dance beside them. When I initially started teaching in America, many people questioned my methods. They said that a man my size couldn't teach successfully, that my thoughts were overly radical, too different. But I knew something that others didn't. An empty cup has the greatest potential for being filled. This gets me to the final lesson. Imagine your mind as a cup of tea, full of preconceptions, old worries, and limitations imposed by others. How can you add anything new if your cup is already full? You cannot. First, drain your cup. I did not build Jeet Kune Do by adhering to ancient practices. I emptied my cup. I removed everything that was unneeded, all of which stemmed from a fear of breaking tradition. And what left was the truth, simple and powerful. This is what I mean by living fearlessly. It is not the absence of fear, but the absence of the constraints you impose on yourself because of fear. You must burst away from the vessel that contains you just as water does. Your potential is infinite, my friend, but only if you have the fortitude to empty your cup and flow like water. The time for simple philosophy is over. Now you must take action. Take everything I've shown you, the wisdom of water, the strength of bamboo, and the power of emptiness, and apply it to your life. Not tomorrow, not when you feel prepared. Now, remember this, fear lives solely in our imaginations. But what about courage? courage manifests itself through our deeds. Every step you take towards your fear reduces its hold over you. And one day you'll look back and grin, knowing that what appeared like an impassable wall was actually a door waiting to be opened. My friend, become like water. Flow boldly. Break free. All roads ultimately lead to self-knowledge. And self-knowledge uncovers the ultimate truth. There was never anything to fear.